fear nothing!
Hey, what's up you guys? It's Jaded. So I wanted to give some of my impressions with the patch so far. You know, I never want to jump to conclusions with a patch and like release my impressions without having just like a little bit of time with it, you know, like you get some of that early hype where you're really excited to go and like just discover the game. That's really what it is. It's like excitement to learn about what they added, and sometimes that can cloud your judgment with how you feel about a game. So you know, I wanted to have a couple days with it just to get a feel for it and really learn some things about it. So I wanted to have like kind of like a casual discussion about the current state of the game. Let's start it off with just the content itself, you know, like Act 3. I've been doing a lot of Act 3 farming. I checked out Act 1 and I progressed a bit on my Witch Doctor from Act 1 to Act 3. So a little bit of Act 2 in there as well. Now I kind of have an understanding of how the content scales and sort of the fixes to everything, the affix changes, things like that. The overall nerf on damage I feel like was really good, because I'm of the mindset, I'm on the side of the boat where I think the easier the content is, the more fun you're gonna have with the game in terms of like build diversity just opens up. Items, you know, you could use fun items, you can use just to have more fun with the game. You know, I was doing some magic find runs to find a what is it called, the Leoric Signet, that 30% experience ring that's worth like 100 mil plus right now, and there's like so few on the auction house. I was doing just a bunch of normal runs with my friend on our demon hunters, and I was just like having tons of fun just clearing mobs super fast, and that's really what Diablo's all about. So I'm glad that they, you know, toned down the mobs a lot. I think though they kind of went about it a little cheaply. With the affixes, I think they did a lot of good work and much needed work, removing invulnerable and all that, giving a lot of the visual representation for like frozen, molten, and mortar. I think that's really good. I like that a lot. So I'm good with the affixes, although I still think molten does just straight up too much damage. It just does too much damage. And if you have Endaro's Visage, I can't even imagine how much damage I'd be taking, because it, you know, increases your damage from fire. But you know, I'm pretty happy with the affixes right now on champions and rares. But some of the mobs, specifically like the melee swings, that the damage on mobs is just way too high. Things like the Quill Beast, the range damage is fine. You walk up to a Quill Beast and let it melee you, it just does absurd damage in comparison. And you know, there's one type of Scorpion mob that just does ridiculous damage, and there's a lot of mobs in the game like that I feel like they need to go in, and they probably will at some point, just put in the effort to tune up each individual mob. They did do it for like some of them, like the Skull Cleavers and things like that, so you know, they're obviously looking at that stuff and want to see it improved. But I just think it needs to go like a little bit farther than where it currently is. Currently on my barb, I'm just like steamrolling through Act 3 pretty much. I don't have a lot of worries. There are a few mobs like the goat. The goats I still have a problem with, the fat goat casters, and the spear chucking dudes. Like any range mob is really frustrating to deal with, and that's because of the AI. And that's another thing I want to bring up, which is the AI of specifically in co-op can be kind of frustrating. They removed a lot of frustration in this game, I noticed. And I don't want to bring up too many negative things, but I think the AI could be really tuned up because, and I've never heard this really get brought up, I play with a demon hunter friend, or I have been currently, and I'm trying to tank the mobs and he's trying to chill in the back. And what's happening is the mob AI really just like gravitates towards him. And why this is so annoying is, you know, I want to be the guy tanking the damage. That's one part. But another part is when the mobs just like roam back towards him and just move that direction, like I can't do the damage that the double tornado style brings if mobs are just roaming behind me all the time. You need them to like group up and stop moving and sort of asphyxiate on one target. So I find the AI a little frustrating because you feel like you're fighting it a lot of times in co-op. You know, when I'm just playing by myself, I think it's fine though. except for some of the range mobs. So that leads me to a question. Do you guys run into this? Like, I feel like the way it's coded, it just sticks to specific classes. Like the AI will just target specific classes. So if you're a range class like a Wizard, Witch Doctor, Demon Hunter, I feel like it just goes for you. It doesn't go for the barb in the front, which, you know, I would think how the game would work is if you're closer to the mob, it would just, you know, attract to you, but that's not really how I've noticed it working. So let me know how you guys feel about that, or if you've noticed that, because I haven't heard anyone talk about it. Other than that, the items got really awesome. I really love where the items are at right now. I feel like some of the sets are still bad. Yeah, someone brought up Talrasha's set for wizards. The 3% damage isn't that great, and other sets just have better benefits having flat stats on them. So, you know, some of the sets I think need some work, but I really like where they're at. I think the Mortal King set is actually really nice. I might work towards it, but again, the set bonuses in the game are just really weak. They didn't change them a whole lot, I noticed, and I guess they're still seeing where the sets stand. They don't want to make them super overpowered, so you feel like you have to use them. I understand that, and I think as time goes on, we'll see a lot of progression in the item side of things. But this was just a huge step in the items. You know, a lot of things got just way more stats able to roll on them, like two-handers. Personally, I don't know if I'll use a two-hander. I kind of want to try like a really high DPS two-hander, but the thing is, it needs to have, you know, crit damage on it, and it needs to have a socket. And other than Scorn and maybe like a few specific things, they just don't roll that, and that's kind of a bummer. You know, it's kind of a bummer that crit damage is so valuable in the game. Like, you just need it on everything, and that kind of ruins the, I don't know. It definitely, I don't know if I want to see it get nerfed, because we saw what happened when attack speed got brutally nerfed. So I don't know. I'm kind of up in arms about it. Like, I just want to see crit damage not be so such a focus. For example, like I really like using a shield. I think it looks badass. Like, I personally like the style of like sword and board shield. You know, I love that. But you just miss out on 200% crit damage if you do that. And that kind of led me to thinking, like, why is crit damage not on other, like, not on shields specifically? Of course you can get the 10% crit chance, maybe it'd be too strong. At least get like life on hit on shields, you know, like that'd be really nice at least. So, you know, I feel like there's definitely room for improvement there, but the items are just so good now. And I looked at this video, a guy put together like a lot of the visuals of legendaries, and you get to see the damage that they do and just their visuals. And so it just looks really good. It looks really fun to have all these items in the game. They did a lot of work on it, so I'm really impressed. I'm kind of worried that they're gonna flood the market. Like, if you look at the auction house, there's just so many good legendary set items that are just flooding with pages and pages. And so I think the prices of this stuff is just gonna plummet really low over the next week, over the next month. The only thing I bought was a helmet. I bought the Immortal King's helmet because getting an Andariel's with a socket was just too much. You know, getting the Immortal King's is still a decent helm, even though my last helm was better. I really wanted that socket for the XP. So that's the only thing I bought. Other than that, I'm just gonna wait and just, you know, let everything drop in price. So let's see what else. Me, myself, I've only gotten 2 legendary drops, and they've both been utter trash. Unfortunately, I got some gloves, which I don't even remember the stats, but maybe I have video footage of it. And then I got Logan's Claw, which is like not even an item level 61 plus fist weapon. And it really, like, it's a play on Wolverine's Claw, but it just does not do him justice at all. So that's really unfortunate, but you know, it's what happens. It's the random factor, and I know if I keep playing, I'll get some really good stuff. So co-oping now, since I skipped over that when talking about the mobs, co-oping is really good. I think other than the AI problems I've been having, I really enjoy it a lot. I think I might try playing with 4 people. I've only been doing, like, you know, co-op 2 people, and you know, I'm not the type of person that likes just sitting and playing by themselves. You know, that's really boring to me. So it's good to mix it up every once in a while and play with friends. or play by yourself and just like chill the music or something. So I'm glad they did the co-op changes, you know, reducing the mob health and the magic find change. On to classes now, since we kind of get to see after a few days that people are coming up with new specs and how the class is really rolled out. Overall, I think it's a good direction, but I feel like they dropped the ball on just bringing out build diversity. I don't think they did a whole lot in that department, specifically for the Barbarian. Double Tornado is just way too good over everything else. The other skills just don't compare. And it's the combination of skills. It's like, it's just so much mobility, so much mobility to get around the map, to bypass mobs. You're doing 2 types of damage at the same time. It's just like, it's just such a good spec, and they're really gonna have to do a lot to other skills to bring other things out. Someone brought up weapon throw now with the new item, 300 spear, and I recently was thinking about this. It's a spear. You don't get the 10% crit, you don't get the, you know, mighty weapon fury gain. Why is it a spear? Why is that 300 weapon a spear? It just makes no sense for it to be a weapon throw spear, because you get the attack speed, which you don't really need. So that kind of like boggled my mind a bit. Yeah, but anyways, back to classes. I think Witch Doctor got a lot of love. I was even playing it a bit and progressing on mine just to test it out. I had this fun Thorns build, just to see how it worked. I went like super tanky with life regen and Thorns, and I had a lot of fun on it, to be honest. It was really chill just to sit back and let your pets do stuff. I know I said previously that I'm not into pets, but I actually ended up having a lot of fun. So that was surprising, you know, Witch Doctor getting a big boost it deserved. And then other classes, Wizards are, it's weird, in the Wizard community you see a lot of fragmentation. Like, some people say the crit mass build's over, but then I still see other people using it pretty effectively, people with really high-end gear. So it seems like the lower-end gear people got hit pretty hard with that, and are kind of forced to look at other things like maybe Arcane Hydras and things like that. And then Demon Hunter is a lot of the same skills, but now I see a lot of them using Vault with the Trail of Cinders. That just does absurd damage. It like has to get nerfed at some point. It's ridiculous. I don't think they will, but it's pretty ridiculous. But this is where I wanted to bring up something kind of more constructive, which is I feel like they need to go in and see the popular runes and just add that to the main skill, and then like replace that rune with something more interesting. So for example, Whirlwind, right? Everyone's using Whirlwind in the Double Tornado Barb. It's really popular. Why not just add the innate ability for Whirlwind to move at normal speed? Like, is that big of a deal? And things like that. You know, don't do it with every single popular rune, but I'm just saying, like, some stuff could be fixed with this. Like for Wizards, all of them use the Crystal Shell with the more damage absorb. Why not just make the normal Crystal Shell absorb a lot more damage, or even that much damage, and then replace that rune? So I feel like that's one thing that they could do to lighten up the build diversity. But then, you know, people might say, well, yeah, then after that, someone's gonna pick another rune and it's gonna be #1. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of true. And that's one thing you kind of have to realize is, at the end of the day, you might just be playing one spec for a really long time until PvP comes out. And then you'll have 2 specs to go back and forth from, which might be enough to, you know, just add a little bit of flavor. So we'll have to wait till then. It might be a long time. But let me know too, like, are you guys finding new builds that are really fun? I know definitely people who are leveling up are trying out a lot of different things, but in terms of just the end game, you usually gravitate towards 1 build or 2 builds. And then the auction house, really quick, I'm not going to go too in depth on the auction house. Tons of quality of life fixes for the auction house, really awesome. There are still a few things that they could definitely do to enhance it. You know, allowing to search damage on Wizard offhands and Witch Doctor offhands, like, why is that not in the game? A little bizarre there. And a few other minor things, mostly not being able to search for like a specific stat. For example, you can't search Magic Find on one-handers, even though there's a bunch of them, or at least, you know, a couple of them. So that's kind of frustrating, but overall just really awesome changes. This patch just made the game feel infinitely better, and it almost feels like how the game should have released. You know, I'm not gonna go super crazy over that because, you know, that's been done to death. But yeah, I'm really happy with where Diablo is right now. It feels like a great, like, ground zero, just slate for the development team to really go from here and just add features, add awesome customization, you know, enhance the socketing, like the gems. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the Paragon levels either. Paragon levels, really awesome. I'm only level 9, almost level 10, but it's just amazing that something so simple can just add that next layer of carrot on a stick for you. That makes you feel like you're just gaining something no matter what. And I think they're gonna flesh that out even more. They're gonna add more to the Paragon system so that it's, I mean, it's very basic right now. You just gain stats and magic find and gold find, but I think in the future we'll see more stuff, more visual stuff. You know, who knows what they come up with. But yeah, I was really happy with this patch. It definitely gets my super solid approval stamp. I'm enjoying Diablo 3 again. I don't get frustrated, and yeah, I really love where it's at. So we can only go up from here, it feels like. And it seems like they have really big things planned with the PvP patch. They talked about, you know, having other features other than PvP, you know, other big things being involved in that patch. You know, maybe we'll get some new content, some new endless dungeon, or maybe a different game mode, or who really knows at this point. But you know, I'm excited for the next big thing. I'm gonna be trying to play with you guys very soon once I get some stuff sorted. Because there's been a lot of people who've wanted to play, but I haven't just had the time to really get to everyone. So maybe in these upcoming weeks I'll take the time after I get a few videos out that I really want to do to just play with you guys, because I think that'd be really cool. So you know, whenever that happens, I'll make a video and you guys can hook me up with your Battle.net information, and then we can get to plowing some mobs. Also, I definitely want to, you know, keep to my word and put out the Double Tornado guide. I've been waiting for partnership. They've been taking their sweet ass time. It's been like a month now for YouTube to finalize some stuff. Anyways, I've been waiting for that, and then maybe I'll put up the Witch Doctor spec, give a little more detail on that if you guys are interested. But yep, that's gonna do it. So I will talk to you guys very soon. Good luck with the drops, and I'll see you next time.